back with another YouTube video. Today we're back at home, so we're filming at Crunch Fitness. I'm going to be going through my chest and tricep workout. I'm going to be also elaborating on the science that I spoke about in my previous chest and triceps video and going more in depth on the exercises that I do and the science that backs it. So here we go. All right, so we're starting out with incline dumbbell bench press. This is a great exercise to start off with. I like to do my heaviest set first, do a reverse pyramid action where I go down in every set after that. This is a great staple exercise for building upper chest strength and size. By adjusting the angle, you can shift the focus onto the upper chest, the middle chest. So let's look at the research and the science behind that. In 2025, Men's Health UK published a study that says that upper chest activation usually occurs best around a 30-degree inclination over a 60-degree inclination, or a higher inclination in general tends to get the deltoid muscles or the shoulder muscles involved as opposed to the chest muscles. To shift that tension back to the chest muscles, lower that incline. Next exercise is a machine pec fly. This is great for isolating the chest, especially the inner and mid fibers. Focus on squeezing at the peak of each rep for maximum muscle engagement. Here I would really just focus on as if there was no weight and just squeezing with your muscles and flexing them as hard as you can throughout the exercise. A couple form tips that I would go over here that I learned recently is to not let your elbows flap down, but really keep them strong and drive them back parallel to the ground. If you let them flap down, that engages the biceps and the shoulder muscles more than the chest muscles. So you really want to keep the tension on the chest muscles there. Next exercise is a dumbbell pullover. Dumbbell pullovers are pretty unique as it was introduced by Arnold back in the day, but it tends to target your chest and your lats if you're not really sure what you're doing. I initially thought this was a chest exercise, and I figured out that it was, but I was just doing it the wrong way. When I figured out how to do it by arching my back and really trying to dig my feet underneath my body, I really found a lot of activation in the lower chest muscles. A 2021 study from the Journal of Exercise Physiology Online states that triceps brachii, or the tricep muscle, is actually more engaged in this exercise only when the elbows are bent. So if you want a greater chest focus, extend your elbows slightly and put all that tension on your chest there. Next exercise is an upper chest cable fly. These are perfect for targeting the upper chest muscles as you get a great squeeze towards the middle of your pecs. I would really focus on bringing your pinkies together, pushing your hands away from your torso as far as you can so you can really engage the chest muscles over the shoulder or the bicep muscle. Next exercise is dips. Dips are really effective because they target the chest and the triceps simultaneously. A difference in form could change the results of which muscle it targets. If you want to target the chest, I would focus on kicking your butt out a little bit away from your hands and dipping down in that position so that the chest is more involved, specifically the lower chest. If you want to hit triceps, you should stand up straighter and flatten out your back and legs so that the tricep muscle has all the tension in the exercise. Next, we have lower chest cable flies. Very similar to the upper chest cable flies. Here, instead of connecting your pinkies, I would focus on connecting your hands, but similar concept. Keep your hands as far away from your torso as you can with a slight bend in the elbows so that you can maximize chest activation and defer the tension to the chest over the shoulders or the bicep muscle. Moving on to triceps, we start out with the cable tricep extension. They're classic and they isolate the triceps really well. I used a rope with this, so I focus on keeping my elbows pinned to my lats and really pulling down until I straighten my arm out. A key with this that I don't see a lot of people doing, which I really encourage, is to pull your hands all the way back until they're straight. So if your elbows are pinned to your lats and you're straightening your arms out, ideally your hands should go past your legs and towards your hips. I see a lot of people doing the really extension out in front of them, and That is pretty effective as well, but I'm focusing on the long head of the tricep here. So that's why I'm pinning my elbows to my side and really straightening my arms out and pulling my hands past my legs towards my hips. Next is a dumbbell tricep kickback, and this is also great for hitting the long head of the tricep. And here, control of the weight is very necessary because though it might be a light weight, it's easy to swing around. And when you're swinging it around, you're deferring tension to other muscles like your rear delts or your overall deltoid. And you don't want that to happen. You want the tension to stay in the tricep. So I would focus on controlling the weight and not letting the weight control you. Here, I would use a really moderate weight and really focus on the form and the contraction at the peak of the rep. A 2011 EMG analysis found that tricep kickbacks and dips are equally effective for engaging the long head of the tricep as well as the lateral head. So, this is a great overall tricep workout. I tend to shift the focus onto the long head by kind of inverting my elbows a little bit, but you can do it any way you please. Just focus on the control of the weight. Next, we have single arm cable extension. This is very similar to the cable extension with the rope, except you're just isolating one arm. A key for this exercise is low weight and a lot of reps. And when you find yourself failing towards the end of your set or the end of this workout, whatever set that may be, 3 or 4, I would really focus on doing as many reps as you can. And when you're failing, use your other arm to push the arm down and really straighten it out so you can juice the last couple reps out of the workout. Lastly, we have dumbbell overhead extension. This is also very effective for the long head of the tricep, and this is probably the best exercise for tricep mass along with skull crushers and whatnot because you can really load up the weight here. And I like this exercise a lot because it focuses on the long head of the tricep, as I said. A 2023 study published in PubMed states that overhead tricep extensions with the dumbbell or cables are found to have 20% more growth in the tricep and 28% more growth in the long head of the tricep. So if you want big triceps and big arms in general, overhead tricep extensions should be part of your routine.